David Goggins was not supposed to be who he is. He grew up in a household defined by violence and fear. His father was abusive. His family fled with nothing. He struggled through school with a learning disability. He was overweight, directionless, and cleaning cockroaches out of restaurants for a living at age 24. He had zero military background, zero athletic credentials, zero reason to believe he could become one of the most elite soldiers in American history. He became a Navy SEAL, then an Army Ranger, then a Special Forces operator. He completed Hell Week, one of the most brutal military selection processes on Earth, 3 times. 3 times! With a broken kneecap on the 3rd attempt. He then became an ultramarathon runner. He set a world record for pull-ups 4,030 in 17 hours. He ran a 100-mile race with no training, tearing the tendons in both feet around mile 70, and finished anyway. Can't Hurt Me is not an autobiography. It's a manual for accessing the part of yourself you've never met because you've never had to. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 ideas from this book that will permanently change how you think about your limits. Starting with the one idea that will make everything else make sense. Welcome to Brief Mind Books. Every week, we break down a powerful book into the ideas that actually matter. If you're new, subscribe. New video every week, no exceptions. Now, let's talk about your limits. Specifically, why they're not real. Idea 1, the 40% rule. You are never as tired as you think. This is the idea the entire book is built around. And once you hear it, you will never feel the same way about quitting. Goggins argues that when your mind tells you that you are done, that you have nothing left, you are at approximately 40% of your actual capacity. The other 60% is still there, still available, locked behind a door your mind closed to protect you from discomfort. This is not motivational fiction. It is a documented physiological reality. The brain's primary job is not performance, it is survival. And survival means conserving energy. So the brain sends the signal to stop long before the body is actually exhausted. Elite military training, ultramarathon running, extreme endurance sports, all of them are essentially experiments in overriding that signal. In learning that the first wave of I can't is not a wall, it's a door. Goggins calls this the governor, the internal mechanism that limits your output to keep you safe and comfortable. His entire life has been a project of disabling it. He doesn't claim this is easy. He doesn't claim everyone should run 100 miles. His point is simpler and more universal. Whatever you think your limit is in the gym, at your desk, in your relationships, in your discipline, the actual limit is further than that, significantly further. The takeaway. Next time you want to stop and the situation isn't physically dangerous, ask yourself honestly, am I done or am I at 40%? The answer, almost always, is 40%. Idea 2, accountability mirror. The conversation most people refuse to have. Before Goggins became anything, he had to face something most people spend their entire lives avoiding: the truth about himself. He was 24 years old, 297 pounds, working a job he hated, going nowhere. And one morning he stood in front of his bathroom mirror and refused to look away. He calls this the accountability mirror, not a mirror for affirmations. Not a mirror for telling yourself you're great, a mirror for telling yourself the truth, unfiltered, uncomfortable, specific. He wrote his goals on sticky notes and put them on the mirror. Not vague goals, specific ones, with honest assessments of where he actually was versus where he said he wanted to be. And every morning, he had to look at the gap. Goggins argues that most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they are unwilling to be honest with themselves about what they're actually doing. We are experts at self-deception. We tell ourselves we're working hard when we're working comfortably. We tell ourselves we're committed when we're committed until it gets inconvenient. We tell ourselves we'll start Monday, and when Monday comes, we find a reason it's not the right Monday. The accountability mirror cuts through all of it. It forces the conversation, not with anyone else, with you. The takeaway: find your mirror moment. Write down where you actually are. Write down where you say you want to be. Look at the gap every single day. Then, close it. Idea 3. Callus the mind. Suffering is the tuition. There's a concept in this book that sounds brutal until you understand what Goggins is actually saying. He talks about callousing the mind the same way hard physical labor calluses the hands. Raw hands blister and bleed. Calloused hands grip harder and feel less. The difference is exposure. Repeated exposure to friction over time builds resistance. Goggins argues that the mind works exactly the same way. Most people protect themselves from discomfort. They choose the easier path, the shorter workout, the safer option. And every time they do, their tolerance for difficulty shrinks, The people who build extraordinary mental toughness do the opposite. They deliberately choose hard things not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand that suffering is where the calluses form. Cold showers, waking up earlier than you want to, running when you don't feel like it, finishing the thing you said you'd finish, doing the extra rep when you've already told yourself you're done. None of these things are significant in isolation, but cumulatively, they build a mind that doesn't negotiate with discomfort. A mind that treats hard as normal. Goggins is not saying that suffering for its own sake is virtuous. He's saying that voluntary exposure to difficulty chosen, purposeful, progressive, builds a mental foundation that everything else rests on. He frames it this way. You can't buy this. You can't read your way to it. You can't watch enough motivational videos to get it. You have to earn it. Through the work. Through the discomfort. One hard choice at a time. The takeaway. Pick one thing this week that you've been avoiding because it's uncomfortable. Do it. Then do something harder next week. That's the whole program. Idea 4. The cookie jar. Your past victories are fuel. This is one of the most practical tools in the entire book and one of the most immediately usable. Goggins calls it the cookie jar. The idea is this: you have already survived hard things. Maybe more than you give yourself credit for. Every difficult moment you pushed through, every obstacle you overcame, every time you kept going when you wanted to stop, those are cookies in a jar. And when you hit a wall, when the 40% governor kicks in, when the voice says you're done, you reach into the jar. You pull out a memory, a specific one. A time when you were certain you couldn't do something and you did it anyway. You hold it in your mind and you use it as evidence. Evidence that the voice saying, "you're done," has been wrong before. Evidence that you have a track record of making it through. Evidence that your past self who was in pain and kept going is someone you can borrow strength from right now. Goggins used this during Hell Week, during races, during moments when his body was genuinely breaking down. He didn't conjure motivation from nowhere. He reached back into his own history and pulled from what he'd already survived. The cookie jar works because it is grounded in truth. These are not affirmations. They are evidence. Your evidence. Things that actually happened to you. The takeaway? Start filling your jar now. Write down 10 hard things you've already survived. 10 moments where you kept going. That list is your fuel. Keep it close. Idea 5. Taking souls. Use doubt as rocket fuel. The final idea from Can't Hurt Me is one that Goggins introduces early in the book, and it's the one that gives you something to do with the most painful experiences of your life. He calls it taking souls. When someone doubts you, when they tell you that you can't, that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, Goggins says you have a choice about what to do with that. Most people absorb it. It shrinks them. The doubt becomes their internal voice. Goggins did something different. He used it. Every instructor who said he wasn't SEAL material, every doctor who told him his body couldn't handle another race, every person who underestimated what he was capable of, he filed away. And then he performed in front of them in a way that left no room for argument. He wasn't trying to prove them wrong out of ego. He was converting the energy of their doubt into fuel for his own performance, taking what was meant to diminish him and using it to drive him. Taking souls means performing so far beyond expectations that the person who doubted you is left with nothing to say, not to hurt them, not to gloat, but because that level of performance is the only real answer to doubt. And the most important application of this isn't about other people at all. It's about the doubt inside your own head. The voice that has been telling you for years what you can't do, what you're not built for, what isn't realistic for someone like you. Goggins says, take that soul too. Perform in front of that voice until it has nothing left to say. The takeaway: collect your doubters, internal and external. Then use them. Let every you can't become a reason to show up harder than anyone expected, including yourself. Here are the 5 pillars David Goggins wants you to take away from Can't Hurt Me. 1. The 40% rule. When you think you're done, you're not even close. The real limit is further than your mind will ever voluntarily admit. 2. The accountability mirror. Stop lying to yourself about where you are. The gap between your reality and your potential only closes when you face it honestly. 3. Callus the mind. Choose hard things deliberately. Discomfort is not the enemy. Comfortable stagnation is. 4. The cookie jar. You have already survived things that should have broken you. That history is not behind you, it's available to you. Reach back in. 5. Take souls. Convert doubt into fuel. Perform beyond what was expected. Silence the voice inside and outside with action, not words. Goggins' life is not a template. Most of us will never run a 100-mile race or go through Hell Week. That's not the point. The point is that whatever your version of hard looks like, your difficult morning, your challenging project, your uncomfortable conversation, your goal that feels just out of reach, you have more available than you are currently using. Significantly more. I've linked Can't Hurt Me in the description. Read it. But more importantly, use it. Subscribe to Brief Mind Books for a new breakdown every week. Next week, The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, 3 lessons on morning routines that most people never apply, and why the first hour of your day might be the most important hour you have. See you then.